Good morning, everybody. We meet here today to be a part of the Nimit Youth Parliament organized by the college. And the Youth Parliament is an initiative by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. It is done to promote democratic ethos, a sense of democracy, a sense of citizenship among people, and train and nurture budding parliamentarians and citizens who can be a part of the parliamentary and democratic process of the country. With a lot of happiness, I welcome you all to the program. Thank you.
Respected members of the Parliament, the Honourable Speaker, all rise.
Any new members to take oath? Secretary General, please.
Amalu Shaji, who stands elected from the constituency of Chalakudi, will now take the oath or affirmation. Amalu Shaji. So, do you want to take an oath or affirmation?
I, having been elected as a member of lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will pay true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, as the law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Members, before we start with our today's session, with grief I announce the death of our ex-member, Mr. Sri V. Purushothaman. Sri Vakkam Purushothaman, a veteran Congress leader from former Governor of Mizoram and former Speaker of Kerala Legislative Assembly, he passed away on 31st July 2023 at the age of 95. He entered politics in early 1950s and was elected to the Kerala's Legislative Assembly in 1957. He served as minister in various Congress governments, and Sri Vaikam Purushothaman was a really highly respectable figure in Kerala politics. He is a skilled leader and an administrator. He will be remembered as one of the most prominent leaders of Kerala in the 20th and 21st century. Sri V. Purushothaman was a true democrat who always upheld the values of the Constitution. I would like to praise all his contributions to the Kerala government and express my deepest condolences.
Honorable Speaker and the members of Parliament, the sudden dismiss of one of our friends, Sri Vakkam Purushothaman, was unpredictable. Vakkam Purushothaman, elected to Kerala Legislative Assembly in 1970, 1977 and 1982 from the Artingal constituency. From 1971 to 1977, he held a portfolio for agriculture and labor in the ministry headed by C. Achuthamenon. From 1980 to 1981, he was the Minister for Health and Tourism in Nayar Ministry. He served as a Speaker of Kerala Legislative Assembly from 1982 to 1984, and then served for 2 terms as a Member of Parliament Lok Sabha 1984 to 1991. Representing Alappuzha constituency, during the time he was also the chairman of the Committee on Public Undertaking and the Committee on Subordinate Legislation of Parliament. Purushothaman died on 31st July 23 at the age of 95. Even though he is not with us today, he has left a lasting impression in the mind of people. Colleagues knew him as an affable, cooperative, and helpful, dedicated official. Despite his establishment background position, he was a modest man. In his own quiet and calm manner, he showed how to work through challenging times to carry everyone. We deeply mourn the loss of this friend, and I'm sure the House will join me in conveying our condolences to the friends and family.
Honorable Speaker and members of the Parliament, the Parliament of India mourns the passing of Vakam Purushothaman, a distinguished parliamentarian and a dedicated public servant. Sri Purushothaman served the people of Kerala with great distinction for over 30 years. First, as a member of the Kerala Legislative Assembly, and then as a member of the Lok Sabha. He was a tireless advocate for the rights of the poor and marginalized, and he worked tirelessly to improve the lives of the people of his constituencies. Sri Purushothaman was a man of integrity and humility, and he will be remembered as a true patriot and a champion of the people. Sri Purushothaman passed away on July 31st, 2023. The Parliament of India extends its deepest condolences to the family and friends of Sri Purushothaman. The memory of him will be cherished by all who know him. Thank you.
Let's all observe a moment of silence for the departed soul. Secretary General, do send the message of heartfelt condolences from the House to the grieved family.
Yes, Madam.
Now we begin with the question hour. Question number 201, raised by Ms. Jemin Jose.
Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Environment. I rise today to address a matter of utmost importance that pertains the impact of change in environment factors on our nation's ecological balance and socio-economic fabric. In 2022, the impact score of environment challenge is 4.42, which is computed in 2023 as the environment challenge impact score is increased by a factor of 1.85 and approximate percentage change is 71.98% as compared to the preceding year 2021, which shows a rising trend. This is very serious issue that our country faces. This study shows that the environment issues are increasing day by day, and it also affects the human life also. There are several reasons for this increasing trend, such as air pollution, water pollution, diversity loss, poor waste management, and other so many reasons. In other countries, if they put the waste in the public place, or if they find any kind of improper waste disposal in the public place, it is a punishable offense. But in our country, there may be a rule, but it is not properly applied in our country. At this time, I would like to quote a famous quote by John May. When the last tree is cut and the last fish is killed, the last river is polluted, then you will see that you can't eat money. This quote really shows how important our environment is. Nowadays, the people have a mindset that the environment that we have today is our own and we can do anything to the environment. That mindset is totally wrong. What we have today is protected and preserved by our ancestors. So we have the right or the duty or the responsibility to protect our environment and preserve it to the next generation. In light of all these things, my question to the ruling party MP is, how will you implement proper waste management techniques in India? Do you take any actions to reduce the continuous exploitation by the people to the environment? And the last but not least, how will you preserve the environment for the future India?
Mr. Ajay, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change.
Honorable Speaker, the Government of India understands the importance of having a proper waste management system and how important it is for the safe and smooth functioning of our society. Keeping this in mind, the Government of India has undertaken multiple large-scale initiatives such as National Water Mission and the Waste to Wealth Mission as a part of our commitment towards the effective waste and pollution management. In continuation of Swachh Bharat, the Waste to Wealth Mission has deployed a decentralized waste processing unit. It will help segregate the fresh municipal solid waste, which can further be used as the feedstock for gasifiers and pyrolysis units to generate energy. The National Water Mission will ensure that a considerable share of the water needs of the people living in urban areas are met through recycled water, and this will also ensure that the water requirements of all people are completely satisfied. With regard to the exploitation and preservation of our environment, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change implemented the National River Conservation Program, sub-schemes of conservation of natural resources and ecosystems. These schemes act as corrective measures for the conservation of the environment and the viable development of various ecosystems. The Government of India has also initiated the National Wetland Conservation Program to conserve and make acute use of wetlands in the country and therefore preventing their further degradation. Also, to achieve net zero carbon emission, India is working towards adopting hydrogen fuel as an alternative to fossil fuels. The Government of India has undertaken the National Green Hydrogen Mission, which will turn India into a leading manufacturer as well as supplier of green hydrogen.
Supplementary question number 205, raised by Mr. Jose Ephraim.
Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Environment. Hydrogen as a fuel is known for its explosiveness and high production cost. Can the government guarantee that we can find a way to address this problem by the time frame mentioned by the Minister?
Mr. Ajay, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change.
Honorable Speaker, the biggest challenge we face with using hydrogen fuel is to prevent a leakage. Now, hydrogen can easily leak due to its small molecular size and low viscosity. The Government of India understands the risk associated with it and ensures complete safety, and in order to prevent leakage, the pipelines will be designed with minimum joints as possible, and regardless of the type of fittings, we will be using hydrogen compatible materials like aluminum alloys. The Indian government will ensure all hydrogen power plants use Swaglok FK series tube fittings, which are specifically engineered for the requirements of hydrogen gas.
Question number 202, raised by Mr. Alan Joseph.
Respected Speaker, Madam, I would like to address the Women Welfare Minister of the ruling party. Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao was a beautiful movement which was started by the ruling party in 2015 to protect women or children from any kind of activities that are happening towards them. But one fine day, it happened in Delhi, on the streets of Delhi, in front of Jantar Mantar. Women were dragged on roads, women were strangled, women were wrangled, women were beaten with the lathis. And for what reason? They were doing a simple and justified protest for justice. And remember, these women are normal women. I get that. But also to be noted, these women are gold medalists. India's gold medalists, the best of the best wrestlers the country has. You bet them. What respect are you giving them? And now let me come to the reason for these girls were protesting. 6 girls and 1 minor were protesting against a person who are in the ruling party. Now, if it would have been a normal person, the other day, the next day, the people or the person should be arrested. But here, no one was arrested. What was the reason? Was it the reason because of the person was from the ruling party? I'm asking that, all right? The ruling party didn't even look at the fact that these I'm not talking about high profile, but these protesters were sitting on the roads and protesting not for one day, not for 1 month, but 6 months they were protesting, and you didn't even care to look. Why was the FIR not registered? The FIR was filed, but it was not registered. It became registered after the Supreme Court intervened. After that only, the FIR was registered. I'm asking the question again. I'm repeating the question again. Why the deaf ear? Why the blind eyes? And why the delay?
Ms. Evina Paul, Minister of Women, Child Development and Minority Affairs.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, primitively I'm very apologetic to what happened in April. On 23rd April, as he said, the gold medalist, female medalist of our nation started a protest against this sexual harassment. Now, why did the police attack them? Was that your question? That was your first initial question, right? Okay, so to answer to that question, first of all, this is the first time there was a protest in our nation. There were several other protests where police did interfere and did the same kind of procedures because they were trained to do so. They were trained to stop inconveniences from causing a public nuisance. Now, even if the police doesn't act up, I'm sure your questions will be the other way around. Why didn't the police do anything to stop them? Now, to bring your notice, Madam, it was on the very same day that our new parliament was inaugurated. And many important personalities were present as well. The wrestlers did not have the permissions to move towards the new parliament building, and they were warned not to do so. The securities tried to stop them from barging into the parliament building and from creating an ugly scuffle.
Supplementary question 206 raised by Ms. Milka Emil.
Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Women Welfare, Child Development and Minority Affairs. I believe the Swamijis in Chingol were more important than addressing a sexual harassment issue in this country. Here, I would like to side with my fellow MP, Mr. Alan Mampili. This statement feels like nothing but an excuse for not taking any action or investigating the complaint from the wrestlers who have made India proud. The governing party is answerable as to what punishment is given or ensured to the criminals who commit serious crimes like sexual harassments. These events bring large amount of shame to this country, and the silence of the governing party makes us wonder, what safety does this government ensure the women in this country? What is more important to the Prime Minister than addressing an important issue like sexual harassment that even the international media has reported about?
Ms. Evina, Minister of Women, Child Development and Minority Affairs.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I understand the fears, but the wrestlers were urged to not indulge in any anti-national activities. Inauguration of a new parliament was indeed an important occasion as well as a proud moment for our nation. So any type of agitation or march on that day is considered as an anti-national activity. Now, please don't read between the lines. We love and respect athletes, but we can't allow any untoward incident. even if it weren't the female protesters or the medalists of our nation, even if it were a common man, I'm pretty sure the police or the force would have reacted in the same such manner. The protesters refused to listen to the requests and warnings of the police who tried to stop them, and these aren't a mere excuses. We are investigating, and the criminal's charge sheet stated that he was liable to be prosecuted and punished for offenses of sexual harassment, molestation, and stalking. The wrongdoer has been charged under Section 354, 354A, and 354D. Now, these carry a prison term up to 5 years. And to answer to our last question, everything of the nation is of great importance to our Prime Minister, and women's safety is our top priority. And it is extremely regretful that we are not able to help the need at the present, but we are trying our best to bring justice to the innocent.
Question number 203, raised by Ms. Sana Sanofa.
Honorable Speaker, this is the question to the Ministry of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship of the ruling party. It is known that even in India, in many states of India, India have a poor education system which includes poor facilities, lack of skill development programs and outdated technology, which will affect the future generation of India. And many students are migrating to other nations for further education. Indian education system mainly focuses on the theoretical knowledge, but doesn't teach them how to apply into reality. In a survey taken, the majority of the people want a change in the education system. Then why is no one trying to change it? I believe it's because the ones who want to make a change aren't in the power, and the ones in the power doesn't even care about the education system. So my question is, what steps are you going to take to ensure quality education, and how are you going to solve all these problems?
Mr. Thomas Sajan, Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship.
Honorable Speaker, the Government of India is committed to provide equitable and access to quality education to all sectors of the society, and the vision of the ministry is to realize the Indian human resource potential to its fullest in the education sector with equity and inclusion. The Ministry of Human Resource Development is complementing several schemes aimed at enhancing literacy and basic education of the youth, including higher and technical education. Several initiatives are currently being undertaken in this direction, such as elementary education, the right of children to free and compulsory education, RTE Act 2009, and Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan SSA program aims for improvements in school infrastructure, curricula and assessment reforms, identification of learning indicators, and improved teaching and learning resulting in better learning outcomes. Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan RMSA, ICT in schools, centrally sponsored scheme on teacher education CSSTE, Shala Siddhi and Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan are being implemented to improve the quality of secondary education. Recently, the Department of School Education and Literacy has formulated Samagak Shishya, an integral scheme for school education as countryly sponsored scheme, and it's being implemented throughout the country with effect from the year 2018 to 19. This program subsumes 3 erstwhile contrarily sponsored schemes of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan SSA, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan RMSA, and Teacher Education TE. It is an overarching program for the school education sector extending from preschool to class 12 and aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education at all levels of school education. It envisages the school as a continuum from preschool, primary, upper primary, and secondary to senior secondary level.
Supplementary question 207 raised by Mr. Vinay S.
Honorable Speaker and members of the Legislative Assembly, I pose this question towards the Minister of Education. The Rights of People with Disability Act 2016 ensures educational remedies to disabled people. Could you elaborate on the support systems in place for the differently abled students in order to ensure they have equal access to education? Could you also go through the necessary steps taken to improve the said support systems for the accessibility of these said differently abled students? Thank you.
Mr. Thomas Sitton, Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship.
Honorable Speaker, the Government of India has introduced various schemes to help with the education of differently abled students or children with special needs, CWSN. These mainly come under Samaga Shishya scheme. So the provisions of this scheme are: support for CWSN students has been extended from 3,000 per child per annum to 3,500 per child per annum. Stipend for girls with special needs has been expanded from classes 9 to 12 to classes 1 to 12 to promote education. Provision for home-based education for CWSN students has been extended from class 12 from Samaga Shishya scheme. And there are also various infrastructural adjustments and necessary educational facilities provided to the CWSN students to promote their education in the country. Thank you.
The question hour ends here. Next item in our agenda is the presentation of bills. Those who wish to present bills can present now.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I am here to introduce our new program, the Safe Haven Maternal Care. The Safe Haven Maternal Care program offers a comprehensive support to pregnant women as well as single mothers, ensuring access to quality prenatal care, nutritional guidance, and emotional well-being resources. This initiative aims to provide financial assistance, job training, and flexible work options, empowering single mothers to balance their life effectively. By offering childcare services and parenting workshops, this program strives to create a strong community that fosters a supportive environment for both pregnant women as well as single mothers.
Those who support the bill say ayes. Those who do not support the bill say no. Let the ayes have it. Let the ayes have it. Let the ayes have it. The bill is passed. Any more bills to be presented?
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I would like to present the bill Theoro Practico Edudil, New Education Policy, which considers merging of a theoretical learning with a professional training from high school classes onwards. This can be merged to 5+3+3+4 education system and can be applied from 8th grade onwards. By applying this policy, students will be gaining professional training from reputed institutions and will be given professional experience certificate along with the board certificate in the time of their graduation in grade 12. It helps the students with gaining life experiences, financial management, and also it contributes to the personality development of the upcoming generation.
Those who support the bill say ayes. Those who do not support the bill say no. Let the ayes have it. Let the ayes have it. Let the ayes have it. The bill is passed. No more bills to be presented in this session. Now the House is adjourned. We'll meet tomorrow again at 11 a.m.
Good morning, all of you. I'm really excited to see you in the mode of a parliament. When the announcement from the part of the government, the UGC came in, that you should do something in terms of social justice. In the academic council, the suggestion came up that we should coordinate a youth parliament in the campus. And in the meeting, the responsibility was given to Father Arun, Ms. Rajani, and Anu sir's name was raised up to take the responsibility of coordinating it meaningfully. And today I'm really happy to see you. I was knowing that there is a lot of preparations going on. I was just watching the video, a short video which Father Arun sent me. And in the early morning, I saw one of you coming in with a different dress, and she said she's an opposition MP. Anyway, it's really an exciting scene, and I also expect that it was an exciting experience for you, talking as representatives of a parliament. And I congratulate all of you. I thank you all for the efforts which you have taken to have this show. But it's really an occasion for all of you to grow, to talk confidently. In the initial sessions, I had some feedback that the confidence level of the speakers was not up to the mark. But as days went on, and today I had been listening to one of you talking in the video, a short video which was sent through Father Arun, you were talking very confidently. So I hope we should have more of these kind of occasions so that you get experience to talk confidently, to perform well. So I thank every one of you, the speaker, the coordinators, all my MPs and the ministers for various departments, and the coordinators, especially Arun sir, Father Arun, Anu sir, Father Arun, and Ms. Rajani, and the technical people, Sanit, and our team from Egam News Channel of the Archdiocese. So I request all of you to have a huge applaud for yourself so that we had a beautiful day. Thank you.